Michelle with Pink and Maine. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be making some fabulous fall foiled cards. Most of the products I'm using today are going to be from the August foil subscription, which they're all available for individual purchase right now as well. I've got my 4 cards with all the parts and pieces ready to go, and we're going to do all our foiling first. So first I've got this pumpkin background. This is from the Fabulous Fall Foilables Kit. And I can see I've got some dust and debris on here. So you want to remember, before you foil any of the foilables, you want to dust off your foilable as well as the back of your foil. You can use our microfiber cloths or an inexpensive soft makeup brush, which is what I have here. You can pick these up at like the dollar store or Walmart. We just want to get any dust or debris off of these so that it doesn't interfere with our foiling, and we'll get great foil results. I'm using our Pink and Maine mini Mink machine. I've already got it turned on, and I'm going to set it to level 3. You can use 2 or 3 with our foiling items. I'm just going to go for 3. That seems to work for me pretty much all the time. The Mink machine does come with one transfer folder, which is this clear little folder here. So we can put our foilable inside and then lay our foil over the top of it. I'm using the Sparkle Orange cheer foil. It's a beautiful glittery with stars, sparkly foil. I've also got a sentiment cut out from the Fall Sentiments foilable pack, the panels. And I'm just going to put this in here with my bigger piece because I've got room. And you want to run the transfer folder with the folded side first into the machine. We want to wait till the machine is ready. It's going to blink red here until it's hot enough, and then it's going to turn green and it's going to beep and let me know it's ready. It takes less than 3 minutes for the Mink machine to heat up. Now that we're ready, I'm just going to make this go straight in, and I'm going to support with my hand up underneath as the folder goes through. It just kind of keeps it straight and flat as it goes through. You want to be careful when pulling the transfer folder from the Mink machine. It's going to be hot to the touch, so you don't want to burn your fingers. You may want to give it a couple seconds just to cool off. I'm going to remove both the foilable and the foil from the transfer folder, but I'm not going to peel the foil away just yet. We want that to be cool to the touch before we peel the foil away. Next, I've die cut with one of our layered circle dies, this Give Thanks. This is from the Fabulous Fall Foilable Kit. We're going to put some of that Sparkle Orange over it, and we're going to run it through. Gonna peel away my sentiment first. And we have a perfect thankful for our friendship is foiled. And this is my favorite part. Oh my gosh. The peel and reveal. All right, so we have a beautiful foiled pumpkin background. And don't forget to save your waste foil. You can definitely use that again, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Again, you just wait till it's cool, and then you peel slowly away. Gorgeous. All right, I've got the foilable pieces for our next card. Remember just to wipe them off. Make sure they're nice and clean. this next card, I've cut this beautiful leafy background. And this time I pulled out some of our bronze cheer foil. So we've got this deep, rich, chocolate brown color. Set that aside to cool. Here we have the pretty word fall with some leaves around it. And I'm going to put the sparkle orange cheer foil on that. This piece is cool, so we will peel away the foil. Oh, that's gorgeous. And here is our gorgeous fall piece. For our next card, I've got this Hello Fall cut out with one of our layered circle dies, and I'm going to foil that with the sparkle orange cheer foil. It's nice and cool, so we can peel the foil away. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, I've dusted these pieces off. And now we're going to foil with one of the negative foil pieces. So it's our waste foil, as some people call it. We have colored toner sheets, and this is one of our fall ombre toner sheets. It's a full toner printed sheet of paper. This one is real pretty. It goes from a deep green over to an orange. It looks like an ink blended background. And we're going to take the foil piece from our last card that has the leafy design in it, and we're going to foil that negative pattern. So I'm just going to center for my colored toner sheet on the design and put it in the transfer folder. I'm doing it from the back because I can more easily see that pattern in the foil and that I've got it centered. And now we can run it through the make machine. I can't wait to show you what this looks like, but I'm going to wait till it's cool to peel it. And here we go. So we use the entire piece of foil there, and look at this gorgeous pattern. You can see the leafy design is dark green this way and goes over to that orange. Simply beautiful. It's like you ink blended that background. For our next card, I've cut this beautiful leaf background, and I'm gonna foil it with some of that sparkle orange cheer foil. I cut out the sentiment, autumn is my favorite color. I used our fancy tag die, but I couldn't fit the top of the tag on the paper because of where the sentiment was located. But the fancy tag die has a little decorative top, and I'll show you in just a moment. We're still going to be able to create that cute little tag shape. And all of these background patterns and little forefront icons and sentiments are from that fabulous fall foilable kit. it's time to peel this one away. Gorgeous, gorgeous. While the sentiment is cooling, I thought for the fun of it, we'd use the negative foil again on another one of these ombre pieces. There are 4 different colors in the fall ombre foilable panels. But I've chosen the green and orange again. Center our pattern and foil away. While that's going through, let's reveal our little sentiment. Oh yes, so pretty. It says autumn is my favorite color. And remember to save all of these little negative pieces because you can create just more and more cards with the same foil and just use those solid toner sheets, which now don't have to be just black. We have plenty of colors that you can choose from. And a little birdie told me there's more to come. Okay, while that cools off, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the ink machine off and move it away. We're done with our foiling. There's a little switch in the back that you just flip off. All right, let's see how this one came out. Once again, it's simply gorgeous. We can see the pattern of leaves go from that dark green over to the orange. And we can use this for a card. All right, let's get started creating our first card. These are just going to be simple, quick, and easy cards, but you can see once they're put together with that foil as the added touch, it just gives that wow factor. So I've cut from our Pebble cardstock, which is kind of like a craft cardstock, a scalloped rectangle, and that's going to go on our card base. And then our foiled panel with the pumpkins is going to glue down on top of that. But I want to show you, you can use your alcohol markers. I want to add a little bit of more color variety to this foiled panel. So I'm going to color the leaves. I'm going to bring this over to put it on. I'm going to use my Olo markers. Very similar to Copic. They're a high quality alcohol-based marker. They hold a lot more ink than the Copic markers, and you don't have to refill them in the same way, which I really like. I've been coloring with them for about a year now, and I love them. And we do have the entire collection of Olo markers on our website. And remember that if you are a subscriber to one of our subscriptions, you always get an automatic 15% off on your other purchases. So I'm just going in and I'm just going over that foil that's there. The alcohol marker won't take away from the sparkle and shine of the foil. Just kind of goes right over it, almost like a resist. I'm using YG 8.5, which is just nice, kind of an olive green. There, I love it. See, those leaves are still super sparkly and shiny, but now they have a little bit extra color to the panel, which I like. You can also ink blend on these panels with your dye-based inks. Just takes a few more seconds to dry because of the sheen on the paper. I also want to take this little sentiment strip that we have, thankful for our friendship, and I just want to color it green as well. That way it'll just pull from the green that's in those leaves. There we go. Now let's assemble our card. I have an A2 side folding card base. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 when folded. I'm using our Easy Squeeze craft glue, which is a great liquid glue. I keep my pin, my no clog glue pin, glued in the cap of the pin, and it's easy to, you know, unclog if you ever need to, but it's a nice place just to keep your pen. You always know where it is. The foilable panels need very little glue to adhere them, just super thin layer of glue. Glue this to the card front. I've cut out with our layered circles the give thanks little sentiment, and it's in like a little pumpkin shape with these little fall leaves and such going around in that shape. And then I cut one die bigger in our coffee shop, which is a deep brown cardstock, just to layer that up. You want to remember when making cards with the foil, you don't want too much like foil on top of foil on top of foil. You want to give some layers, break it up with some cardstock, add some dimension with foam tape. It all just helps you make a great foiled card. I also have this Thankful for Our Friendship that we colored with the green marker, and I'm going to layer that on a piece of the Pebble cardstock. Now we're ready to add these to the card. I've added some of our foam tape to the back just to give it some dimension. Separate the layers of the card a little bit. All right, and there is our first card. I love it. I love the addition of that little extra color in there too. For our next card, I've made an A2 side folding card base with our construction cardstock, which is a nice orange. And I'm going to glue down our foiled leafy background with that bronze foil. So I want to color some of these leaves that are around this fall sentiment. So I've just grabbed a variety of fall colors from my Olo markers, and I literally just went and looked at them, grabbed a couple of light tan browns, warmer brown, a little yellow, a little orange. So we're just gonna pull from those colors and we're gonna color those leaves. First, I'm gonna take that green that we used before and color a few. I'm not trying to do a lot of shading with this, more of just adding some extra colors to the card. When I'm coloring something small like this, or even if I'm coloring a little bit more, I leave my markers and I just set the cap loosely on them and I set them down so I can quickly grab it and color again. You don't have to snap them closed, as you're working on a project. You want to leave them open as you're working with just the cap loosely on them. They're not going to dry up, but it also, when you pull that cap over and over and over again, you create a lot of pull and suction on the ink barrel, and that will cause a little bit of like dripping or having excess ink in your brush tip. I've got O 2.5, which is a really kind of rusty orange color, and I'm just going to color in these little berries. I've got O 7.7, just a dark brown, kind of a cool dark brown, and I'm going to do the tops of the acorns. This is O 7.3, a little lighter tan or taupe color, as you might say. Here I've got YO 2.3, a yellow tone. And this is OR 1.3. It's a nice orange. I'm going to take another brown tone, OR 3.4. And we'll try OR 4.2 on this last one. Very light tan color. Okay, now we've got our beautiful fall sentiment foiled, and just coloring it in with the markers just gives it so much more of a finished look. So now I'm going to glue that to our coffee shop cardstock. I'm going to add a piece of ribbon to the bottom of this piece here, and I'm going to wrap it around, and I'm going to glue the ribbon to the back. I just added glue to the back of my piece here, and I'm wrapping the ribbon around, and I just have to hold it a few moments here to let the glue dry a bit. And then once it starts to hold that ribbon, I can add glue to the whole panel and glue it down onto the card base. So here's our card so far. Got that beautiful foiled background, our fall sentiment with those leaves. And now I'm going to take another piece of ribbon. I'm going to put it right underneath the ribbon that we attached at the back. And I'm going to put a dot of glue on that ribbon where I want the knot to sit, because it's going to hold my knot in place. I'm just making a simple knot. The ribbon that I cross underneath, I just flip it over so that the polka dots are on the top of the ribbon. So it just all looks consistent. And I'm just going to pull that tight. And then once I've done that, I kind of smash that knot down into the glue. And then all that's left to do is just trim the little excess pieces. So here is our second card. It's beautiful. It's got the foil. We've colored the leaves there, so we've got that added color. And the ribbon just adds that extra texture, that extra element that the card needs so it doesn't feel flat. It just has that extra something. Give a little extra texture and dimension. For our next card, we've got our gorgeous foiled leaf background. And I've cut another scalloped rectangle, but I cut it out of some of our glitter paper. That gorgeous, almost like a coppery color glitter paper. So yes, you can put foil with glitter and it just looks gorgeous. And you can color these leaves in like we did on the other card. I think I'm going to leave them just as is on this one. You can also ink blend around, add a little extra color if you like. My card base is A2 side folding card base, and it's from our Pebble cardstock, which is that nice craft color. So our sentiment that we're going to add to the top of this, remember I said I cut it from our fancy tag die, so it's got that cute little topper with the stitching effect that I put on top. So I'm going to glue these two together. So here's our little fancy tag. Isn't that cute? So we're going to put that on the card. But with it being white on white like that, I'm going to need to put something in between there. So I'm going to take our piece that we had foiled the negative with those leaves, and I'm just going to cut around our tag. So we have a little pop of color underneath our tag. I'm just cutting it with scissors. Just eyeballing the edge around. Okay, so now I've got a nice little sparkly, shiny backdrop for our tag, and it's going to make it pop off. See how that pops off now from the white here and the white on the tag. Just something to separate. You always want to have layers to separate. I'm not going to glue my tag onto this piece yet, but I am going to glue this backer piece onto the card. And I'm going to just kind of put it a little bit on the diagonal. Just tilt it a bit. All right, so I pulled from my stash some fall colored twine, and we're gonna put some twine through the whole of our tag. I just fold it in half, I twisted it up a bit, and I'm gonna feed it through the back of the hole. And once I untwist that, then it gives me like a little loop. So I'm going to put my fingers through the loop, and I'm going to pull the excess twine that's in the back through that loop. And then you just gently pull it tight. And there is our little twine. I'm just going to trim the edges a bit. And then I like to just kind of roughen them up a little bit. Now we're ready to add our tag to the card, but I'm going to pop it up to give it a little more dimension and put some foam tape on the back. Okay, let's add this down. And here is our next card. I love it. It's got the glitter in the background. We've got twine for some extra texture to the card. We've got our tag popped up, and we have layers in between. Everything you need to make a nice, well-rounded card. For our last card, I have another A2 card base in white cardstock. And this one's going to be just super quick and simple, but I wanted to show you how to foil those negative foil pieces and get a gorgeous background. So we're going to glue this piece to the card base. And really, when you have a gorgeous background like this, you really do not need to do much to finish the card off. Remember, we have that ombre toner sheet behind the foil that goes from green to orange. Simply beautiful. We've got our Hello Fall sentiment that I die cut with the layered circle die. And we're going to add this to the scallop circle that I've cut. I cut it from construction cardstock, our orange, and then I ran it through our embossing folder, the Micro Dots embossing folder. So it's got this fun little polka dotted dimensional texture to it that'll really give us, similar to what the twine and the ribbon did on the other cards, it gives us that little extra added texture and feel to the card. So I'm going to glue my sentiment down to it. So nice. I like how this Hello Fall sentiment has these little leaves and branches going around it that really help pull it together with this leafy background. I've already added some foam tape to the back of this piece. And I'm just going to stick it down in the center towards the top of the card a bit. And there's the card. Sometimes that's all you got to do. But with that added texture and dimension there with the foam tape, it really adds to the overall finished look of the card. Thanks so much again for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed these fabulous foiled fall cards that we created. You can find all the products needed over at pinkandmain.com or ask your local retailer. And until next time, my friends, keep living the creative life.